All right, welcome to the Wholesome Financials Podcast. My name is Austin.
Susie.
All right, and today we're back doing a client case study from one of our favorite clients, Lourdes. Did I pronounce her name?
Yep, Lourdes.
Okay, and so Lourdes came to us. She needed funding because she's in the Airbnb space, which we work with a lot of realtors, don't we?
We do.
Or just people in the fix and flip or Airbnb space, right?
Airbnb, fix and flips, real estate, long-term, short-term, all that.
Yeah. Now, normally we get people, well, we'll get into it in a second. So normally what we're going to do is, if you're brand new to our podcast, our episode, or how we do these case studies, we have a bunch on our channel. Go ahead and check out our playlist. But what we normally start with is just talking about where the client was, where they met us, just getting a little bit of background context. And we're going to go into how much we got them funded, where we got them funded, and then anything else that we learn along the way. And so with that said, where is Lourdes based out of?
It's Chicago.
Chi-Town. I like Chicago.
Me too.
It's one of my favorite U.S. cities. When it's not cold. If it's cold, you never catch me there.
Yeah. So if it never got that cold, I'd probably say I'd move there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, we had a great time. Wrigley Field, saw the Bean, whole nine. Cleanest one of the cleanest downtowns I've ever seen.
Clean. Just too cold.
Yeah, super, super cold.
And like hella windy.
Yeah, man, that was tough. But we love it. Love the Chi. And so when we met Lourdes, what was she doing? What was her background or her day job?
Yeah, so she's worked in the medical field, more specifically, like secretary, data entry, all that stuff.
Nice. Okay.
For an office.
Awesome. All right. And so when she came to us, how much did she need to get funding for?
Yeah, so when she came to us, she really didn't think this was a thing or possible. So she was trying to like be conservative and wanted only like 50K. So I was like, girl, we can get more than 50K.
Nice.
But that was like her goal.
Yeah. Nice. And so, and what did she need this funding for?
Yeah. So she needed to furnish the apartments.
Gotcha.
So she currently has 2 Airbnbs up and running, but
where are the Airbnbs located?
In Chicago.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So she wanted to kind of like make them a little bit more upscale and have, just new sleek furniture,
you got
flat
to
screen TVs, just so that you can charge more.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to stay booked out, it's got to. I mean, most Airbnbs, like it's just having comfort and amenities is not enough to stay booked out. If you want to stay booked out, it's got to be a vibe.
Yeah,
right? People are buying the experience.
Yeah. Coming from us who've stayed in plenty of Airbnbs, I want something that's like gonna wow me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were literally. I mean, all of them got beds and running water, and some are better than others. But the ones that you're like, man, I'm willing to spend a little bit more. Is that it kind of adds to the trip,
to the experience. Like, yes. Wow, like I can hang out in here.
Yeah. For
half the day or the whole day if need be.
Yeah, it's a good conversation piece too. Like when we had the Airbnb in Cartagena that one time, it was like facing the ocean. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, she needed 50K.
Yeah.
To furnish her Airbnb. She has 2 Airbnbs in Chicago, but we got her more than that. How much did we actually get her, and what bank did we go to? What was our strategy?
Pretty simple. And if you've been watching us or you're new to the channel, we always go to Chase. We go to Chase first and
not
foremost,
Patrol,
just because they give the most amount of money.
Big dogs.
So we got her 75K, 0% for 12 months.
Yeah.
So that was literally the only bank that we targeted because again, she only wanted and needed 50.
Yeah.
And I knew that we can get her 75K, no problem. I told her like, hey, if you ever want more, we're totally open to exploring other options and other banks.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you have 2 Airbnbs and you're trying to furnish them, you're not going to spend $75,000 or more on that.
No,
if you are,
hey, your prices must be immaculate. Like
you're charging like $3,000 a night. Like you have a mansion in Miami, South Beach or something.
Yeah, that's a lot. No, that's beautiful. And you're right. Like we always go to Chase. Chase is the best. And if you can get funding from Chase or any of their products, highly recommend it. One of the biggest banks in the country, if not the biggest. And they just have really great products, especially business credit cards. They're business unlimited, they're in cash, and they're business cash. All of them have zero, like they cost nothing, no annual fee. Which is unheard of.
Yeah.
And their points, if you get the sign-up bonus, is so coveted because you can transfer them to hotel partners like Hyatt, which is our favorite, right? We booked a a holiday vacation for Hawaii coming up this year. You guys will see that on the YouTube channel as well. You might catch a podcast episode out there in Hawaii, but yeah. So Chase is it's just a great bank, and they're the only ones that can give like 75K limits. But you gotta know what you're doing.
You got to know what you're doing, because if you just like go to the bank or apply online, you're most likely not going to get that. I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah.
So that's the difference from doing it on your own, because you could totally DIY this thing, or work with people like us, businesses like us, where we introduce you to our favorite bankers who get you these high limits.
Now, and just to be clear, maybe you're brand new and this is the first video, like this is our first impression of us to you. What we love, particularly funding, especially within certain business models, especially Airbnb, is 0% interest business credit cards. Like those are the best way to go about it, especially in that type of industry. And we highly recommend it for people in the fix and flip or the Airbnb industry for that reason. But like you said, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to get high limits. But you also mentioned something else that was great. You know, she only said she wanted 50K, but she could have gotten more. She could have said for more. And I think that's another beautiful part about working with us is that we don't charge a percentage based off what we get you funded for. We go off of a flat rate working fee. Yeah. And then by the time you're done with us, you'll know how to do this for yourself. Which
yes, that's the goal. The goal is to get you up to speed to where you don't need us anymore after you go through our mentorship. Because at the end of the day, it is a mentorship, right? Yep. We're guiding you through the process. So you're learning along the way to be able to access this type of funding, 5-6 years down the line, because you have that knowledge.
Yes. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So let's get into the fun part. The question is, some people want to know, how long did it take her to get funded? I know every client's different and there's different circumstances. We're going to talk about her specific. She's a specific case. But how long did it take us for her signing up for her to actually get funded with us?
Okay, so it's probably going to shock a lot of people.
I don't think it will.
It took 12 months, so it's going to be, it was a year. But that's mostly because, again, we go at your pace. We leave you things for you to do. Hey, open the bank account or pay down your credit cards. And then it's up to you, the individual, to be able to knock those things out. The faster you knock them down, the faster we can actually get the funding. So it took her a while. We had to pay down her credit card. So, she's working a regular 9 to 5. She also has the Airbnbs, but she couldn't pay them down fast enough to be able to do it in like 2-3 months. Right. Yeah. And then apart from that, she also had a late payment that we needed to take care of. And if you're watching or you've ever had any issues with your credit in the past, you know that late payments are probably one of the hardest things to take off your credit.
Yeah, for sure.
So she started credit repair, right, when she started working with us. And that process, unfortunately, does take time sometimes. Yeah,
you can't rush it. There's no perfected, unless you got a guy on the inside doing some voodoo stuff. Yeah. There's no way to rush that.
Yeah. So the late payment took about 4, 5, 6 months tops, maybe, to get off, because it's a trial and error thing. Like, you send a letter or you dispute this way, they come back verified, then you got to double back and use another type of law. So it's a lot of back and forth. So, you often hear people like, I've been doing credit repair for like 3 months, nothing's changed. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's actually more normal than not.
Yes.
There might be a unicorn out there that, like, in 1 month things fell off completely.
Yeah. But that's not the standard.
That's not the standard, and that's not the case. So I want to make sure we educate people the right way, so that way they don't have this misconception that, credit repair is 2 weeks and that's it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And you said something else that's really, really important. Another thing that led to the length of her getting funded is we go at your pace, right? Depending on some funding companies, they'll take your info and they'll shotgun it to a bunch of different banks and try to get a bunch of different products. But we don't do that. We take a very calculated, sniperish approach. And so because of that, we don't move until all the ducks are lined up in a row. And there are some things that person or our clients have to do on their side so we can set them up for success. Because we don't want to rush it just because you're getting impatient, because then that ruins the integrity of us knowing what we're doing. And so that's a big thing. So it's like, if speed, utilization, because you want to make sure you keep your utilization below 30% on each individual card. Okay, not total overall.
And honestly, like 30% is like bare minimum. things are getting a little bit tighter on the bank side. They're starting to get a little bit more picky. Limits are getting slashed, but you want to be honestly below like 10%, if I'm being completely honest.
No, it makes sense. Banks want to give money to people that look like they don't need it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and then like you also mentioned, late payments, collections, charge-offs, all those things. Like, you don't want to go to the bank if you have those things on your credit. And this is not just for business credit cards. SBA, any type of lending that your credit is necessary, you don't have collateral in place for it, where they have to check your credit. This is huge, right? So you want to make sure that you have those things locked in and those things taken care of. So I love that. No, Lois is great. And so, how does she find us? Any cool facts about just working with her or interactions with her?
Yeah, so she found us on our first TikTok live.
Nice, man. We were hitting TikTok live, tough.
Yeah, like every Wednesday at 8:00 we were live. But this particular time, it was literally like our first time ever on TikTok live.
That's cool.
Kind of nervous, but she found us. That's and cool. I guess she stayed through the whole live, and then she hit us up in the DMs.
That's cool.
We got on a call, and she was like, "You guys know what you're talking about. Let's do this."
That's awesome, man. I love that. We've worked with a couple people that came from the live.
Yes,
that was cool.
Yes, a couple people for sure.
If you think we should do lives and real time question answers, let us know. We do a lot. We answer a lot of questions in Discord, and sometimes you'll see a lot of content coming from Discord. It's kind of why we like it. It's we get to get some feedback immediately, but anyway, no, it's beautiful. And so, anything else about Lourdes or just her history, like what made her get into? You said she was secretary in the medical field. Like, what made her want to get into Airbnb in the first place?
Yeah, so I think more so her family comes from like a real estate background, more specifically her dad. Her dad does a lot of fix and flips, so she knows a lot about real estate, and the goal eventually, like 1 or 2 years out, is to buy her first property.
Nice.
And alongside her dad, fix and flip it as well. So
nice.
She currently has the 2 Airbnbs, but she wants to add like an actual property itself to fix and flip under her portfolio.
That's super cool. No, I love that. Lourdes, if you're watching, man, we love having you part of the Wholesome fam and connecting with you. And if you're in the Airbnb space, we highly recommend reaching out to us if you're looking for funding. If you don't want to use your own funds, or if you're strapped for cash and you're over leveraged and you don't want to miss a deal, whether it be fix and flip or Airbnb, right? If you're trying to furnish your Airbnb and you're like, I don't want to I don't want to use all my cash, 30K of my cash, click the link below or send us an email, either one, and let us know you're interested, and we would love to work with you. Get on a consultation call and see, hey, what do you need to do to get you funded? Like you mentioned, banks are tightening up restrictions. We have no idea how much longer we'll be able to continue to drive in access these products from the bank the way that we're accessing them.
Without documents.
Yes, without documentation. So while you can do it without documentation, I highly recommend don't wait. Get in right now. I'm telling you guys, there's an urgency in this market because the game is going to change very, very soon. Yeah. So I love that. That's great to see. So again, head to wholesomefinancials.com and tap in with us. If you want to see more case studies like this, go to our playlist where we talk about all of our case studies, all the clients that we work with. Yep. And now, I mean, that's the case study part of the podcast. Now we're about to get to the talking part of the podcast where we're going back and forth talking about life stuff and asking questions. And so everything we do is funding centered and business oriented, business owner centered, but this is just more personal, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what you want to call it. So anyway, where do you want to start question wise? You want to do personal or professional?
Personal.
Let's go personal. All right.
Okay. What's a piece of conventional business advice you threw out the window and watched everything grow because of it?
Piece of conventional business advice that I threw out of the window, but
it actually benefited you.
Yeah. I would say, gotta go quick. I would say, thinking that you need to have a traditional education and that you need to have, you have to have it all figured out before you start.
Man, that's good.
Like some things you just don't have the luxury of getting all of it understood. And especially if you're doing something that very few people have jumped into, like you're not going to have any knowledge to get started, because people tell you, because I went to business school, right? I got a bachelor's in business administration, and they make you put together these business plans and things like that, which is great, right? But they kind of teach you like you have to study business before you get into business, and what I've realized is you don't have that luxury. You just have to jump in.
You have to do it. But done is better than
perfect. Yeah, like no one's going to tell you. And the way I see it now, this is unconventional, but you want to hurry up and get it wrong.
Yeah, so you can fix it and pivot.
Yeah. Trying to wait and get it right is dumb. Just hurry up and fail. Because once you figure out how to fail, the only thing that's left is to know how to succeed. And so traditional business advice will tell you, like, study, do this and that, read a bunch of case studies, watch a couple of biographies, read all the books on it. Read one page and go. Just hurry up and fail. Like, you're going to learn so much in your failures, way more than you can learn from someone else's summary, because also it has to be internalized and it's got to be personal. And so I think like fast and speed is the thing that I realize is one of the most important things in business, because those that are super successful, they fail faster than others.
Yeah, money loves speed, right? Is what they always say. So it's like the faster you can get it out there, the fastest you can make money.
Yeah, that's what I would say is the biggest thing I learned. Good question. Let's see. I will we'll go here. Professional. So what's one daily habit you believe separates high performers from everyone else? A daily habit. It was something that high performers do, and don't you dare talk about cold plunge. If I hear another word about cold plunge.
No.
Y'all love this ice bath trend that's going on right now. But what do you think? What habit?
I think high performers, they plan. They don't just shoot from the hip.
Yep.
As one may call it. But yeah, they plan.
Am I the one that may call it that?
Yeah. He calls it, you can't just shoot from the hip. But truthfully, if you have a plan and you do that every day, then you're laser focused on whatever it is that you need to accomplish. So, you write down what you need to do for that day, project it, put it in your calendar, whatever the case may be, and do that daily. And I think that's what separates those that, are running and those that are walking.
Yeah. I agree, obviously. Because, like, if you aim at nothing, you're going to hit it every time.
I knew that was coming.
It's just a fact. Like, no one goes, I accidentally drifted into greatness. If you don't know what you're trying to accomplish, and how will you ever, what's the chances you're going to accomplish it? So, yeah, all the high performers I know are, like you said, laser focused and hyper specific and intentional about what they're going after, which I think is huge.
Yeah. So
huge.
Good stuff.
No, great episode, man. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And again, check our videos, reach out, click the link in the bio if you want to work with us. If you need any help, if you just have questions about funding or banks or projects, SBA, not just business credit cards, any type of loan or funding options, let us know. Also, follow us on Instagram, wholesome.financials. Hopefully this handle doesn't change. Hopefully it's the last Instagram handle we got. But just click the link in the bio. All of our contact info is down there. And we will see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.